Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 400th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond, and I'll be host once again in this weekly series of workshops. We're now up to number 400 in that continuous 8 years of broadcasting. And we welcome members and support members of the Universal Council for today's 400th gathering. Thank you very much for your service over that period of time, and we look forward to continuing into the future. Let's begin with our presentation today, and let me just get that ready here, and we shall begin. Hello, Shweta.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Vic. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful souls, for being here always. And welcome, 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 welcome. From the deep, deep of my, I am welcoming you from the deepest love in my heart. And I will say Suswagatam, as in India, we welcome every soul this way. So, Suswagatam, welcome into the beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to the beautiful energy of all universal souls we are. Welcome to the beautiful energy of all souls in existence, dear beautiful souls. So much welcome. This time, now. And as today is the 400th of One Planet, One Nation, One Race for One Race. And I will say, I will justify all the love to you always. And if from me, as I am the last person to justify, as we are all. So be in peace, be in love, be in abundance. Understand the way abundance works. And thank you again. And I will say some few words. My dear beautiful souls came from beautiful souls also, said by them. There are two types of knowledge which flows within us. The one that is simply functional in the present can be used to expand one's consciousness. The second flow at the psychological level of the seeker serves the future timeline. Our timeless true self sends it to us to the evolution of the psyche and consciousness. To consciously receive both of these flows, daily focus on or practice in a way how to get or receive the true nature of knowledge that is available, was always and will be always and is always. Just we have to understand. And this is very essential now. Inner stillness is the key. I am in you and you are all in me. We are one. This is so lovely. Thank you. Thank you for listening, dear beautiful souls. Salam, namaste, salute. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that introduction, Shweta. And now we get to play an excerpt from the first One Planet, One Nation, One Race for World Peace, which came out on Tuesday, August 15th, 2017, some 8 years ago. And this will be an excerpt about the peace treaty with Mr. Keshe talking about it. And I will play that now.
This is important, and I cannot be any more direct. We have disclosed and we disclose more information on this. But it seems to be that few percent of people who heard about the work of the foundation and being part of the peace and one nation, one planet, your voices through the soul of the man is getting heard, and this is important. Someone mentioned earlier on about when the process can start that we fly, even 1 meter. It has not been reported internationally, but last Friday, early in the morning of the hours, according to high classified information, the first, what we call plasmatic magnetic unit as a satellite has been tested and has been completed successfully. It's been monitored as what they like to call another name of the plasma technology, which we have come to understand has been used, and in the coming weeks, most probably in the West, we'll hear more about it. They are testing the zero time, zero space travel, and what is become now on the space side of the plasma technology as quantum testing has been completed. It's a satellite launch, and once its confirmation and testing is completed, we most probably hear in the West about it. It's tested in a specific condition and in a certain position. I was in the meeting when it was announced that it's been achieved. We have to further understand the development of it, further understand the process of it. Then it will be released internationally. So many things are happening at the same time. And this is all adding more and more to the pressures and pushes of the peace. And as I said before, most of you who listen in any shape or form as board members, council members, supporters, and in a way, human race, these letters to the council, to the embassy, to ambassadors, to the world leaders has to continue. That now the one nation has been set, the one nation council has to be replaced in a way as one nation, as one council, replacing the United Nations. We are talking, negotiating that one nation criteria which we have set to be discussed on the floor of United Nations opening session in next couple of months as an alternative. And we have to see if we can get this on the floor of the United Nations as part of the opening by one of the world leaders. It takes a lot of effort, and in a way, it's the beginning of an end to a lot of wars. The languages should be language of peace, and this is what we have to find out, to what extent we do. The whole structure should not be silenced or be put aside, somebody else will do it. We have to do it ourselves. Writing the letters, informing the people, and in so many ways, it's for us to stand our position. In the past few days, in the past 48 hours, the Keshe Foundation team drew up a contract, or a contract presentation, which on the second page, or I should say, leaving the front page as a logo of the Keshe Foundation, on the second and the third page, there were two simple world peace treaty added to the document before the full text of the document. We received information back that please take these 2 pages out of the folder and submit it to the World Leader Direct. This shows a lot of things for us, a lot of commitments, that the structure of the government has realized, and they know that such a thing as what we call World Peace Treaty is part of our work, part of our negotiation. And interesting enough, why you say 2 pages? We did this with President Obama when he was in office. One is in the name of the head of nation, and the second one is the head of nation committing his nation to peace. And we know a number of
Okay, that's our excerpt from the very first One Planet, One Nation, One Race for World Peace in August of 2017. Okay, now we'll go back to our regular program here.
Next. Thank you.
Just bear with me a second here while I re-find my presentation. Go.
Thank you, my dear Rick. Beautiful, Lisbeth. You have chosen this portion. That is so beautiful, really. Um, the work, the struggle of Keshe Foundation has reached this point of peace, and uh, for the whole world, all souls in existence. Thank you. And Rick, I have to read the peace treaty also. If there's a yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear. This is the peace treaty, World Peace Treaty, that I have signed with a pen at that time, and that was amazing. That was like magic. That this is, and there was 2 witnesses too at that time. That was so beautiful. And signing this peace treaty, I have opened the door for my soul to explore more about the path of peace. And I started stepping forward. And now we are all here. And of course, we don't need a pen to sign this. You have to understand only how this is so much necessary for the um, awakening, I will say, in a word, of all, as the nature of all souls is peace. We have to come to this point anyway. So we are coming. So I will read the peace treaty I have signed, as we have all signed, and those who are signing with a pen or without a pen. We, as citizens of the earth from this moment on, accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this, all agree and swear with our nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, body, and soul. Wow, beautiful. Thank you, Rick, my dear. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. Now we can go to the next presentation.
Next, we have the wishes, and I'll remind our audience that we'll have a full minute of silence to reflect on each of the wishes. I think we begin with Mehran.
Hello, yes. We, the Universal Council, give collectively from our souls for peace on earth in whatever manner. This is our wish, and our wish is our comment.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the people of the planet to cooperate with the universal visitors to a new, superior condition for the planet and the universe.
We, the Universal Council, give from our full strength to empower the world leaders to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging the nations to a permanent everlasting peace on this planet. Our wish is our comment.
We,
the Universal Council, wish for financial support, all work for the Keshe Foundation and Mark Ray Corp. to be distributed accordingly as one planet, one nation, one race.
Greta, you like read? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, my dear. We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of all leaders to achieve the permanent and lasting peace, avoiding the suffering of physicality on this planet. Our wish is our command. We are present.
next we have the connection between souls with Moshfek.
Hello, everyone. So I'll just read from the slide first. I love you, my soul. I live you, and I live with you, and I adore you. So the soul connection. Here in this period, we connect with all the souls. But in doing that soul connection, we keep these words that I just read in mind, in the sense that the connection starts within us. All the souls that are present, from the atoms to the cells to the organs, these are entities with souls. So the inner connection is where it all begins. And then we extend this connection to the people of the planet and the entities larger and larger, encompassing the whole of the creation. So both the inner connection and the outer connection may look different. One may look impossible, the other may look a bit redundant. But one is a reflection of the other. And as we explore the inner one, we extend in the outer dimension. And reaching out towards the outer dimension, we plumb the depth of the inner connection at the soul level. So, and in a way, we are doing it at this time here in a place and in a time. But this again is timeless and never ending. And there is no place for it. For all the places together in a timeless manner. They're connected together in a timeless manner. So now I will switch to the Bengali language from the part of the world I'm in. It's spoken in Bangladesh and India mostly. We'll have a 2-minute pause at one point, and I'll mention that, and then we listen to it in a language that is only spoken in a small part of the world, but the message is universal, that of connection. All right, then আমরা আজকে এখানে আত্মার যোগাযোগের জন্য আমরা এসেছি, একসাথে হয়েছি এবং একসাথে হয়েছি আমাদের আভ্যন্তরীণ সমস্ত আত্মার সাথে এবং আমাদের আশেপাশে বাইরে সমস্ত মহাবিশ্ব জুড়ে যে আত্মা আছে তাদের সাথে সংযোগের জন্য। এবং যদিও আমরা এটা সাধারণত করি না, কিন্তু আমরা যেহেতু আমাদের আত্মার সাথে আমরা পরিচিতি লাভ করতে চাই এবং এই পরিচিতির মাঝে আমরা সমস্ত মহাবিশ্বের সংযোগকে উপলব্ধি করার প্রয়াসে আছি, ফলে এটা আমাদের একভাবে বলা যেতে পারে আমাদের একটা করণীয় জিনিস, এটা আমরা অনেক সময় ভুলে যাই। এটা স্মরণে আনার জন্য আমরা এখন এই যোগাযোগ সৃষ্টি করি এবং এই সৃষ্টির জন্য আমরা কিছুক্ষণ নীরবে থাকবো 2 মিনিটের জন্য এবং 2 মিনিট পরে আমরা আমাদের অধিবেশনে ফেরত যাব। ঠিক আছে? All right, we start. We conclude our silent period, but that doesn't mean our soul connection ends here. So we can extend this practice every 3 hours, and every day at 9 p.m. at Universal Central European Time, Universal Time, Central European Time, and although these connections are not time specific, but since we are not used to this feeling of this connection, we can connect to our physical side, from our physical side, where time comes into play, and in doing so, we strengthen this connection, soul connection within and without, and in doing so, we reach a point where time does not we don't have to think in terms of time anymore, and then what it all becomes, the soul connection becomes the presence of the soul in whatever we do, whoever we connect to, and wherever we travel. Thank you very much, and we move to the next part of our presentation.
That's beautiful. Thank you. When we are internally connected with the first, you're internally connected and with all souls around you. You put the next video. You paid attention first, please. That this is like intense visual form recreation of the what happened when we connect with our souls. The first connect, for example, Arizona, Iran, and Linz. First three form the first star formation, and the fourth is our soul, and this is infinity, crossing the entire earth. Each one is connected to the next. Do you see? It's the expansion we make when we freely give it our souls to connecting throughout the planet. The same thing happens when we make a different reactors or not use the spray water throughout the planet, connecting expansion like of the field, extending the dome of peace. We create the new life on this planet at that moment, based on our wishes. Of course, our actions under the ethics of the Creator, thinking good, speaking good, and doing good. All souls is connected at that moment. And when you give freely, all the time, not important what soul give it or express it needed, when you give freely, connected with you, of course, immediately connected all souls across the planet. This is how we are building the new life. The same one we offer as part of the universal community. Do you see? It's more long the video, but it's connected across the planet. Most important, what part of the planet you live, and North Pole, South Pole, not important. What country? All souls is interconnected. Whether you feel around you, of course, connected around all the planet. It's more long video, but it's like a concept what happened with the energy of the soul. Thank you.
Rick, I don't know if you felt it, but this sort of triggered Gianni's dome in a way as a representation in a smaller way in the matter state, but very similar with connecting these sort of star formations or triangles. I don't know if you sense that.
Yeah, because the star formation is 3 points, and the fourth is our soul.
Yes, my dear Elizabeth, thank you. So beautifully you said, thank you, Mark. And I also say when we started, we all knowledge seekers from all over the world started spraying the beautiful plasma water around wherever we go, because the intention was to harmonize, to be, to elevating all souls, to be in peace, understanding peace more and more. And at that time, we didn't realize the power, the strength, the field strength of this uh, water we are spreading, the intention with the water is spraying. And here in India, when I was started spraying water, I many has this uh, close from the closed window. They are um, seeing me like some witchcraft is. I am doing some witchcraft. But then the beauty is, I wanted to do that. The purpose is that, and then and because of this spraying from all over the we knowledge seekers sprayed uh, at the intention to create this peaceful dome of peace, the flower of life, dear beautiful soul, and the life begins in this newness, and the dome of peace is created and understood by the universal community. Then they said, "Oh, shining stars, so many, we are coming," kind of that, and it worked in a way, merging the communication more and more. So the spaceship is here. So I will say the dome of peace became these shining stars. We are the star formations. Thank you. Thank you. As well, I will say, I will sometime I use this word, very fortunate, kind of magic. I will say, as a very, 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 very normal person, very, very, um, a kind of housewife. Oh, this is the magic. Kind of that. I love to say that. Thank you. Thank you for everything, Foundation. Thank you so, so much.
I would like to add a few things to this discussion of creating these star formations. So, as you noticed, Elizabeth connecting all these triangles across the planet, and these star formations, in case we have forgotten about it, this is what drives the spaceship. And so, in connecting various communities in the star formations that we are creating, we are lifting up all the societies, all the groups of people across the planet, and elevating all these communities. And in doing so, the whole planet is lifting up in the dimension of soul, lifting up the spaceship of the whole humanity. And so the whole planet is about to join the universal community, and the spaceship is ready, and the individual in the spaceships are all ready to fly. And so just behold, the whole planetary humanity is about to be part of the universal community as one planet, one nation, one race. Thank you.
And look at how busy this is starting to get with all these lines, maybe connecting different cities or different people in different places. Mr. Keshe was trying to convey to us at one point, I'm sure Mosfeq remembers, every atom on the moon is connected to every other atom on the earth and every other atom across the universe, let's say. So if we were draw the lines between atoms, I don't think we'd even see any space gap. The entire structure is connected. And this is one of the things Mr. Keshe was trying to impart on us, I think, in the last workshop. We're part of a much bigger structure.
So are we lifting off just the planet, or is it something much bigger, much grander?
Well, that was a great image, Mark, of the interconnected atoms that you brought up. I thought that was seemed to bring it together very nicely. We see the grid now with these lines, like you're saying, communication lines and various triangles. And we are the fourth part of that triangle, basically, to provide for the starship configuration. But when you include all connections everywhere, there's a lot of starship configurations, let's say. It's all one big starship in a way.
And it is a bit difficult to imagine this or get our mind around how everything can be connected when we're so concerned with not in my backyard. Our small street or our small house or our small yard. I think we're away and again expanding our consciousness or understanding of the interconnectedness of the entire universe.
Yes, when you interconnected all infinity and the planet, you convert the planet to a spaceship, to a spaceship. So Mr. Keshe explained many times to us the Earth is like a spaceship, but it depends on what spaceship you convert. Because it's like you give it to universal community. But with the wishes, you construct your new life at the earth. Thank you.
And this is what Mr. Keshe was referring to about the One Nation network of creating a mesh in a way, not only on this planet, he said, but across the universe.
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. Maybe do you go to the next?
Okay. I could point out too that in world affairs, we have at least a momentary peace that's occurred and agreements among countries that normally don't have such communications. And that in itself is quite amazing. Whether that holds or continues is another thing, but I think it's given the humans on Earth hope that there could be lasting peace. And that hope alone is enough to change the tide, I think, and make a difference.
Yeah, yeah. The energy to the souls crossing the earth.
Sorry. Hope and the wish that I wanted to add the wish part, because that's something that we are not too used to. Hope has, in our languages, hope is kind of like it may or may not happen. Wish, on the other hand, is a command.
I think that the life of the like a flower of the life. It is like a represent that the across in the planet. It's like this. So it's the concept. So only infinitive star formations from our souls. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, next. It's called connection is ready. Thank you. The next.
Yes, next we can have to.
Yeah,
yes,
but the invited is ready too. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Next is the video from the. You see.
This
Okay.
is a wish.
Let me get that up here. This is an excerpt from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop with Mr. Keshe, and it's an invitation to be part of the Universal Council.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring in a new development of Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they served during the 60 years. They are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality. Understanding the culture, that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear. I also want to add clarify that please to join beautiful times, beautiful things. Please to join as a Universal Council member, as a Universal Council support member, and this is the time to serve all souls in existence. Please do join from wherever you are. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Salam, namaste, salut. Here is the wish, beautiful wish. We, the Universal Council, invite you to freely unite your souls every 3 hours, unifying them to illuminate the souls of all leaders and find the path of permanent peace, avoiding the suffering of physicality on this planet. Our wish is our command. We are present.
Next, we have the knowledge and understanding from the last 611th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. I'll play the background video and music. And I believe we have Mark, Stefania, Dean, and others can contribute to this.
Go ahead, anyone? Or the others?
I see that Dean and Stefania are not here, so that leaves Mark.
Do my best. Again, there's so much in each one of these workshops. That's why Mr. Keshe said that we'll be opening up these teachings for perhaps centuries or even longer into the future. So there's a lot that I didn't see, but there is a lot that I did see. And a little bit from the 610 and the 611. I'll try to summarize it in just less than 10 minutes, let's say. But again, it's up to us. It's our responsibility to investigate and understand this knowledge for yourself. I don't try or practice to tell anyone how to see it. As Mr. Keshe said, we're teachers. We teach, and then you decide what you'd like to pick up in the way it pleases you. But we certainly are observing, witnessing, and changing a lot, he said, in the short term and definitely in the long term. And of course, we may see a huge light or some sort of ring around the sun. This is when the interaction, I think the perihelion for the 3i is around October 30th. But at the same time, he said we may see some satellites between this period right now, the 12th and the 17th of this month. And as indicated, these energies, interactions, would we start to think and feel differently after November? And again, we're in a test tube. We don't even realize it, but he said this is part of what he was trying to convey, that we are quite self-centered, and to realize that we're part of a much bigger structure that we're just becoming aware of. And I equated that to a baby in a crib. And does the baby know it's part of a larger structure with the cousins and the relatives and the house and everything else? No, there's things being planned and so on. So we're sort of like that infant in a way, just sort of waking up, or as we grow, to realize we are all connected and all part of a bigger structure than ourselves. And we've been quite self-centered. So the Keshe Foundation, as we all know, has many faces. We talk about agriculture, we talk about energy, wellness, travel, plus all the subcategories within there. So it has many aspects to it, but the idea of moving the humanity into a peaceful position is the main thrust, but it's not the end all. It's just a point to get to the next step in the understanding and what's going to happen. So as Mr. Keshe indicated, the scientists of today are quite puzzled. And I think he mentioned this a number of times, that the science is puzzled to see the work of the energy. And the knowledge seekers are much more informed about this energy transfer dimension. And of course, the governments are showing that they're a bit paralyzed too. And of course, the scientists are looking at how can we get more material to burn more fuels or something. They're not looking at this energy dimension. So the world of science is quite puzzled, quite perplexed, but the Keshe Foundation is showing this is a flying system. Again, we're introducing a new science, or we're adding to man's knowledge by this science, and of course the ethos and the language. So we see the object changing color, changing speed, interaction of itself with the propensity of the solar system to create liquids. We're seeing massive amounts of liquid not coming out of the unit, but actually through the interaction of fields. And this is another thing that has puzzled the scientists of today. And maybe some of them are more informed, and I believe that Mr. Keshe could be advising some of the space agencies, at least as an informal advisor, of course. And we know he was trying to teach NASA back in the 1980s, I think, on their bulletin board, but apparently he was teaching the scientists too much and was banned at that point. So, as he said, the governments have gone silent, the space agencies more or less have gone silent, and this is an important time to observe. Again, we don't have any sort of way to prevent anything like this. And I think, as he said, the Chinese have made a communication or received a communication, something like this. And I think the leaders are realizing how powerful, or as Mr. Keshe indicated, these entities are much, much more intelligent than the man. So it's quite shocking to see some of these things, and especially the absorption of energy from the sun into the items. And of course, they think this is some sort of or could cause a threat, because obviously they're realizing that perhaps these entities have a much more advanced understanding and knowledge. So this is a flying system. We see the tail in front, and this is quite anomalous as well, but again, explained by the Keshe Foundation, and again explained, I think, near the end, where we saw one of the drawings from the earlier workshops. And of course, it's quite in line with an amateur picture. Unfortunately, we were relying on some amateur pictures to show it out, but this has all been explained over the years. And as Mr. Keshe indicated, the knowledge seekers are rather comfortable in understanding exactly what's going on. So we see many objects now. I think this is coming out. These little eggs, or Mr. Keshe, I think, referred to them as jellyfish. And apparently some have already dropped off. They're tailing behind the object, quite unusual. They're maintaining some sort of a flight pattern in a way. So this is quite puzzling, but apparently they're coming into our solar system for seeding. And they're releasing satellites, and Mars, the moon, Earth, and many things are happening in the background. So this is a UFO traveling. It's just we haven't understood how they travel. And even though this is an ancient system, it's far advanced from what we can do. I was just shocked to hear that this captain is so crafty that's flying this craft in the multiple geometries they're using and connected to points outside of even our perhaps solar system or galaxy. Again, I'm only understanding a small bit of this. But so a new cycle has started, I think, on this planet, a new cycle of life on this planet and in the solar system. So they're seeding Mars millions of years in advance for when it takes its position. But I'm sure the life will start growing, this future life of what they're calling some sort of interaction with the members of this planet on Earth. But each and every one of the other planets has life on it, and we just don't see it, perhaps. So the satellite is on its way, and how life takes shape. He said that we need to understand about three things, and then he mentioned three more in the end. What is this object? We need to understand the space travel. And the satellites, a satellite swarm in a way is coming in. We need to understand that. And how life takes shape on Mars. I think this was another thing we'll be probably observing and interacting with. And of course, the media is not wanting to show much. The objects are going to meet apparently behind the sun, and a new life to mix with the solar race. I'm only aware of really one race in this solar system. And of course, I think we've been kept in the dark. There's much more life going on than we're aware of, but most of it, I think, is in the dimension of energy. That's why we can't see it. But that was interesting. This object apparently does the same. He equated it to a cruise ship, and it comes back to this position every 3,000 years. I don't know if we'll find that written somewhere, but he said you would have to look into the caves drawings and into the stones where they were originally inscribed, I guess. And again, they were then interpreted in the rest. But this is just another common occurrence in the universal structure. And apparently the last time this object came by, some from this planet joined it and took what we call 3,000 years, or maybe, as Mr. Keshe indicated, 500 lifetimes on this planet, but in the dimension of the soul. He said it's not a lot of time as we think it. So some are actually coming back. That's completed this 3,000 year sort of travel, and they're coming back to tell us what they saw or what they experienced. And I don't know how that is exactly going to play out. But this object is delivering life, and it's also replenishing life. And we heard it's also can collect some lives, and maybe that's what he was referring to. So we may hear from a witness who's actually, or multiple witnesses who's actually been on this craft. Whether people will believe them or not is up to them. But of course, we seem to believe people as members of the Keshe Foundation. We trust in what they're saying, even though we didn't experience it ourselves. We know there's a lot of things that people experience as individuals or collectively. So as I said, the Chinese have confirmed the communication. Mr. Keshe said he would verify it in the coming time, or maybe what's happening now will verify itself. But again, a regular passage. It's happened multiple times in the past, so nothing to worry about in a major way. He said we think we'll, of course, survive this. And we'll have to see in the next years what happens. I know he said we may not see them initially, but we can start to feel different. And perhaps in a number of decades, or our children might be able to see these objects, or he said perhaps even in our lifetime. So that I think they need some sort of time of maturity or time to get comfortable or acclimated. I'm not sure. But he did say perhaps in the next decades, or maybe even sooner. We don't fully know. And of course, this object cannot be touched. I think it's flying at about 150,000 kilometers an hour, something like that. And of course, it has its own repulsive atmosphere. I think that breaks down to about 56 kilometers a second. So again, we're more observers witnessing a birth of a new life in the solar system. And there's not much mankind can do to prevent it. We're really not part of this rendezvous. This has been a pattern, and this is part of the universe's work in showing itself. But we will hopefully get directly in touch. The governments want to avoid the panic, so in a way, they're a little bit apprehensive of revealing the knowledge, and that's sometimes understandable. But there's 3 things that man has to get ready for. He indicated there could be some sort of space viruses. I do think we get a lot of viruses from space, and hopefully, and it could spread across humanity. And I was thinking, hopefully this is some sort of knowledge-seeking virus, or becoming more self-aware that we're part of a bigger structure. And that's what he said, to see the structures, we have to get used to these structures. And even the way they travel, Mr. Keshe said, this is the way these civilizations travel, and we have to accept it. So, but they're coming here because of part of it is because of the transmutation. The knowledge of transmutation has been shared with man, and we've often heard how the creator doesn't use a craft, and those in the craft have not gotten to this level of transmutation in the energy dimension. Otherwise, they would not be in the craft. And then I think back to that crafty captain who's using multiple geometries and multiple connections. And I know Mr. Keshe mentioned about system failure, even though I'm sure they have many backup systems there and have done this. And the captain is quite seasoned, but the idea of system failure, I'm sure it's cost a lot of lives over millions of years of perfecting or using systems like this. So the government has shut its mouth, and we'll have to see in the coming time, because I think they've realized the power of these visitors. Something has happened, but and as Rick said, we're starting to see, in a way, the shimmers of peace. It seems conflicts have been put on the back burner, in a way. So we're getting ready for an interaction. The object can direct energy, as I said, and this is causing a threat to take in billions of megawatts of energy, attracting millions of megawatts of energy, billions of megawatts of energy from the sun, and actually being able to absorb it within itself. And of course, this was part of the spin and the division, but this is where the leaders on this planet are a bit concerned that this technology is so far advanced than ours. We'll just have to sit back and, as he said, observe. So we have satellites heading to Earth, to Mars, to the moon, I believe. And as he said, apparently in that communication is we, from these visitors, we do what we like. Otherwise, you're eliminated. And again, I don't think this is the threat of killing, but this could be just a threat of the enforcement of peace on this planet, because I think they know the time is right for this planet to join the universal community. Perhaps this is why the swan has come into the picture. So we're in for many surprises, I think, but again, it may be over a much longer period of time. And the knowledge seekers will become the teachers in the future, although we haven't been really fully this man of peace this is our only sort of, or one of our chinks in the armor right now, is that we haven't become fully men of peace. And then, of course, there was the matter state of energy, or the energy of the matter, which we're learning more about. But again, we're trying to move everything to this dimension of energy rather than the matter state. So we'll see the changes in the coming week. And the 3I is a regular visitor, and perhaps the knowledge seekers will be given a platform to share more and more, or people will, the governments will open up the teachings in a way. And again, going back to the 105th workshop where we saw the craft, the UFO, the center reactor, the star triangle formation, and very similar to what we're seeing actually today in these crafts, at least the one picture we saw. So a lot has yet to be revealed, but a lot has been revealed to the knowledge seekers, and I'm quite comfortable with the whole process. I've always thought it would be time for, even though we know the universal community has been here, this planet has been part of the universal community, because of our propensity to kill and imprison and eat other things. They've been quite reluctant, let's say, to show themselves. So this may be the first time man is going to openly have an interaction with, let's say, citizens of the universe. So it's quite an exciting time. Again, being uninformed, there's a lot of ifs and possibilities. And Mr. Keshe also mentioned there's a number of possibilities, or we'll have to see how many things shake out. So I think that's it. I've gone over my 10 minutes. And anyone else would like to add anything else? Please do.
Okay,
Yes,
I'll go on.
okay.
I'll try some. So one of the remarkable things that Mark also talked about is that the existing governments or authorities, scientific and otherwise, are a bit silent, and this silence itself speaks louder than they would like to.
Mosfet, does this mean
Yeah.
they're wimping out?
Well, it's where does fear exist? Fear exists because there is ignorance. They have no clue what's going on, and their understanding, be it based on existing science or a little bit further extension of it, is not sufficient to stop the fear from emanating, which is their silence. And, and this is something very telling in the sense that they are saying that, well, whoever is out there, please tell us. Please tell us what's going on, in a way. And this is where I think the Keshe Foundation knowledge, and we have been exploring this space flight systems, I would say, since 2016 with our famous MAGRAV system. And, we think of MAGRAV system for electricity production, but based on what we learned there, a whole bunch of teaching, especially in 2017, is there for how to build various reactor systems akin to what is in these flight system of 3i Atlas, even the 2R, so on. And so, today, in this session of One Nation, One Planet, One Race, the ease at which we talked about star formation and the liftoff and all that, this is where we see the ignorance fading into light. Light that can enlighten our authorities, and this is by the people of the planet. And here we have samples from various parts of this planet, and they are aware and they're comfortable with these kind of star formation systems. We easily and naturally talked about it. It was a demonstration, a show of light, a show of force that is there to light up the ignorance that is there in the silence. So this is silence is a symptom, but the solution is right here, right now, in this One Nation, One Planet, One Race meeting. What a timing. It just popped on the screen. So the amazing thing is that we know how these systems interact and generate energies, and there has been transmission of energies from 3i Atlas specifically that has been recorded by the instruments, and the signals that are emanating from this entity, it has been observed in the oceans of this planet. So even Mr. Keshe indicated that the oceans of planet Earth is one of their destinations. So, so we know from indications, and we have events in the horizon that may not lead to physical encounter, but energetic interaction with the planet and other with planetary bodies of the solar system and the star itself is already undergoing, and we are part of that, and part of that star level communication, star formation communication. And so we may not physically see anything, but are we going to feel it? We are set for it. So there is a lot going on. We don't need a telescope. We only need our soul to link with these entities. The two are Swan and 3i Atlas. The name doesn't matter. And we can do this soul communication. Soul communicate, let's go a little bit deeper into it, because we have in our exploration with the enhancement unit, we have done soul travel. Can we do soul travel and visit these guys? Why not? Do we need a telescope? Those are primitive devices. We're talking about more sophisticated way of soul communication, soul travel. And can we observe them? Can we not just observe them? Can we interact with them? Can we talk to them about the soul, with the language of the soul? What are we doing together? What are we about to face? All of these things. So these knowledge seekers workshops, that Mr. Keshe is doing, is the preparation for us, and how much we know and how much we can use this in this time, not the coming time. What is going to happen. There are things happening, obviously, but as we speak now, we are in a position to do all of these things. And what are we waiting for? So anyway, that's all I have to say. Anyone else?
Well, I do have a couple of videos to play from the workshops that were mentioned. So perhaps we can do that now. Okay, first one is a comparison of the images of the the Starship configuration and the resultant images. They'll speak for themselves. Let me play. It's about a 3-minute excerpt. Which is a couple of images that were sent to me by Cristiano from the 92nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. If you can cast your mind back to 2015, that's 10 years ago.
Well. I remember very well, yes. Go on, tell me.
Well, we have a very similar diagrams with the star configuration as well as spaceship shape from the fields generated from the configurations. And so, and you mentioned in your second book, which would have been what, back in 2007 or 8 or something like that, I guess, where you were already talking about that geometric configuration. So you've let the cat out of the bag a long time ago, Mr. Keshe, but we're a little slow to take up on the idea.
If you look at the picture, which is released by non-NASA group this week, we see this picture. We clearly see, they actually bring this picture out of 3I near Mars. This picture clearly is like this has been shown to be part of the structure of the 3I. It's taken from the Earth. It's done by an amateur. Well, he's well-known amateur, what do you call it, with a telescope. In the picture is released in past 24 hours, gives exactly this picture. This is what we had in past 24 hours, and that's from 10 years ago. They see a central light in it, which means it carries a reactor. You see it. 10 years ago, and today's picture past 24 hours. If you put other picture next to it, then you see it. I think this comes from teaching in Trani, if I remember.
Yes, I believe so. You were in front of the whiteboard there.
Yeah. So it's in light. You see the, what I call, you look at it, you see what we shown 10 years ago. I try to use a blue, it's very clear. You see the light, and then you see what they put. And it sits in the deep. That's how the systems work that way when you got this stuff. The rest of it, the preferability is the protection. It's a jacket.
I was just noting that the this workshop with the left-hand image here is December 16th, 2015. And I think the time when we get to see 3I Atlas once again from the other side of the sun, is it not in right around that same date? It'll be like a 10-year anniversary of Mr. Keshe describing this shape. I'm sure it's just coincidence. Okay, let me go back to our program here. Actually, I've got another video to play, which is announcements from the last Knowledge Seekers Workshop, number 611. And I'll play that now. It's about a 10-minute excerpt.
In the next maybe week, 2 weeks, we will be testing the system. I expect interference in a certain magnetic field bandwidth across certain part of the planet, but it's a good bandwidth. It's not a bad bandwidth. It's something that will bring, is the beginning test of the feeding the universe. We are in that process, and more or less in the second phase of this process. What we've seen with 3i will be replicated most probably if we get a chance to complete it for October session of the Fridays, the last Friday of this month, which will bring it, hopefully it'll be ready to show. But don't expect a huge Big Bang. These are the plasmatic, they are not matter state to create that Big Bang. They will change the soul, they will bring enlightenment. They bring energies which is in the dimension of emotion and time. And they start and they create a new time. There was very recently a Senate hearing from the parents who lost their children because of what the AI told them to do. Then we come to the point we are creating machines with like us, artificial intelligence, which only learn to kill. Go and listen to some of the very recent sessions in American House. And then you see the parents who lost their children to AI. Disconnect your children from this system. They tell you it's good, but there are programs running which actually ask your children to commit suicide, and they've done, many of them have done. They connect to the little toys you give the children. So even we have created an electronic life, it has taken the habit of the man to kill. When you listen to the cry of the parents in the Senate report, then you understand why we need to change the whole structure of the, what we call, of the life on this planet. Even what we have created as computerized has learned how to kill.
Mr. Keshe, will the quantum computers with feeling built into them eradicate that problem?
Quantum systems, the way we call it cosmic ray systems, yes, they do. Because it always works on the positive. It always gives to bring a balance. It doesn't take to bring a balance. It's the way the natural process of the universe is. We don't see stars targeting themselves to hit another star. Position of interaction brings, but that brings amalgamation of needs for a different process. This is why we see these kind of things in the universe. Man has created this structure, which now even in the dimension of is computer programming has become worse. Very soon, I'm sure, matter of handful of years, maybe less, no, especially children, teenage systems, computers, games, toys, can have connection with AI or with a computer. You'll see, because what we see surging out of the reports, how these things are connected to little toys, children 2-3 years old. Then you understand what can be done. There are people who are using the new technology exactly the way the man is. Because it comes to one conclusion, whatever you do, oh, you're very strong if you're strong, as we heard in Senate, so you're much stronger if you can kill yourself, and the children have hung themselves. It is a menace because it carries the whole thing, and that's why I say you have to change the inner structure of the man. And there's no one. Hopefully, we'll win, or not win, we'll get what we lost in the fraud case in the next few weeks in the courts in Austria. And I've decided that what we lost, we got back. We'll fully go into the completion of what we call these new systems we are spreading around the world. To change from inside, on the surface to outside, which is the brain of the man. Keep on asking you help. We need as many as these units to be ready to go out. Hopefully our team will complete their cycle in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And we start sending these out hundreds a day or a week or month, whatever the manufacturers can produce for us. But every effort has to be made that we bring that change on the surface of the planet, the inertia interaction of this planet, that man walks away from the habit of killing. Even the machine he has made that is supposed to be so good has become killing machines. This is the problem. I listened to most of the Senate's hearing with the parents who lost their children. And I thought, man, it's even taught the machine is made to kill. When you travel this part of the universe, when the citizens of the universe meet, they show the achievements, what they achieved in achieving, understanding the work of the fields of the universe. We saw the man achievements on 3rd of September in China. We even created dogs which can kill. We have become even lower than the dogs. And we hear in the next few days or whatever, North Korea will show the more devastating things they have created. They become animals of killing. We have even trained machines to kill, that it reflects us. No race in the universe does what the man does. And it has to be uprooted, but from the base. And these units, which we are putting out, you'll understand, is the backbone of it. What was short will be done to increase and come for it to be done by man itself. There's something I forgot to tell you. Please, when you receive your units in the next 4 or 5 weeks, or maybe sooner or later, please do not do anything with it, but just to plug it. We do the rest. Do not tamper with it. Do not try to connect it to a computer. Do not do anything with it. As we will try to bring it into the point that all of you, when you receive the second part, connecting the second part to the first part sometime in the very near future, you start connecting with the rest of and possibly beyond of, and be able to receive a lot of things through your systems. The first part is a man-made part. Second part is connection to universe. And don't touch what you receive. Just plug to where it says and stay with it. Don't touch it, don't play with it. And see what changes it brings to your life and the people around you. We need it for you to understand. When you start receiving your second part, just take it out of its package and connect it to the first part, and that's all you need to do. And it has a structure of energy like a soul. You tamper with yourself. and then maybe you can release yourself from eating and the rest of it. These systems will be a dual system. One is the one which you carry your coins and your other bits, information and teaching, and at the same time it carries a dimension of connection to what we call universal teaching. You deprive yourself from receiving the knowledge.
All right, that completes the excerpts from the last Knowledge Seekers workshop. We go back to our program here. Arranged. Trying to find where we are here, just bear with me. There we go. I believe it's time for transmutation with Moshfek and Mark and others. Please go ahead.
Everyone. So today's Knowledge Seeker, One Nation, One Planet, One Race meeting was as we were reviewing the Knowledge Seekers workshop, and even prior to that, we got a lot of clues about transmutation. And so let's talk about how to use this understanding to achieve transmutation. So many of our preconceived notions about physicality is getting, shall we call it, erased, and which is the good news. Good news in the sense that these preconceived ideas about the physicality is occupying the center stage in our understanding is no longer tenable, and the idea of soul is holding it all together is something we are getting used to. Getting used to not just in some theoretical way. We are learning how to use it to benefit health, feeding, and a number of things. And now add to this mix of activities, we have even universal community sending energy for us to feel how the soul is doing. So with this added element, we are moving further ahead in our awareness of the soul's capacity. And as we extend our experiments to conduct interaction with these universal crafts and beings, we become more aware of how much the soul's capacity is. And at the same time, we see that physicality is not as not really that big of a deal. We can create physicality on demand. We see transmutation or change of attributes happening in 3I atlas. Transmission and reception of energy from massive energy from the sun, creating more physical entities, more crafts. Well, we have our body here right now, our soul created it. Can we have a copy somewhere else in Mars, for example, for interacting with the inhabitants there? No, it's the same soul, but just another satellite body. These are things we are being shown. One entity spawning more entities in physicality. Can we do it? Shall we try? So when I say shall we try, is that we are in a position now to even conceive of this possibility that we may be able to do it. Or, should we go outside tomorrow and day after and look at the sun and receive the energy and transmute and spawn additional physical entities just like us? Is it possible? Why not? And so if that is the case, so in withdrawing our physical presence on this planet into our soul should be equally convenient, and we can remanifest anywhere in zero time. So in having all this new information and understanding coming into our horizon, we are detaching from our attachment to this entity which call our physical presence on this planet. Death is not only the option. Transmutation is not just an option, it opens up a number of possibilities. And are we heading there? Or are we the harbinger of this progress? And 3I Atlas, to our Swan, are here to learn from us. Yes, we are not quite there, but in a way they're saying, guys, we need to learn from you. So we better do it, because they're here for us, and we better be ready. And we better do our transmutation. I mean, they can do some of it, as they have demonstrated by absorbing energy from the sun. But do we need the energy of the sun? Does our soul, in transferring energy from the cosmic ray, is it capable of doing it? The same thing, the manifestation, multiple manifestation, or multiple expressions, identical, different in different planetary condition or in other parts of the solar system and elsewhere. So the idea here is deeper appreciation of the soul's capacity, detachment from physicality, and we have a whole new possibilities in our hand. And time is not, we're not bound by time, but since we exist in time, the urgency is obvious. Urgency is not in the sense that we hurry. Urgency in the sense that we do it well, and do it well and achieve it not for elevation of humanity, as we were speaking today about it, but elevation of those visitors that are coming here. So the opportunities are there, possibilities are there. Let's have the spark fly. Thank you very much. And anyone else who want to talk about anything regarding transportation?
Thank you, my dear Moshfik. Thank you so much. Beautifully explained, presented, and I will see as humanity learned how to make a home, I will say to 3i Atlas that we have waited for you for thousands of years and we have learned so much to give you, so much to ask you. And now you came here. That is the way we loved for many, many years. We experienced that. Even in the forgetful, we know you were there. So this is what, and now I can say in the process of transmutation, I will say that I am not the person I was used to be anymore. I will be the perfect homemaker for you, as humanity is. So this is what we are now and what the universal love is coming. Yes, of course, we have to transmute in a way. We have to understand, make ourselves in a way, in physical form also, that we can understand the friction, we can understand the world even, we can understand the connection so swiftly going on. So in peace we are. So thank you. Thank you, my dear Moshfik. Thank you so much. I'm also fortunate to talk because so many firecrackers are going on as the festivals are going on. Thank you. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salam.
Okay, and as we heard in one of the videos, you're invited to help keep the Keshe Foundation free for humanity in these transmutation tests. And as Mr. Keshe said, if they develop material, we may have some sort of advanced interaction, perhaps with this craft. He says they think they have some sort of communication system. But the main point is to keep the Keshe Foundation free, allow it to develop, allow you to be studied in a way, what energies interact with you or how you understand them. But this transmutation, again, it's a big word and it's kind of foreign to most of us. But we have to realize, according to what we've been taught, that we're doing many transmutations sort of automatically or unconsciously. For example, when you go to sleep, or the energies that you absorb from the environment, or a communication that you may have had that you were expecting, and then also it just appeared. And of course, as Mr. Keshe said in the 611, if you understand the transmutation, you don't have to die. He's often used the example of, I've been walking on this planet for thousands of years, leaving one city as an old man and appearing in another city as a child. So this is gaining, in a way, an aspect of immortality, not only for yourselves, but we're developing a system for the entire humanity. So sometimes you may not notice things, or they can be very sort of subclinical, but I think there's a lot more to be reported in the future about what they've studied and what they've found out by allowing yourself to, in a way, be a paid guinea pig, as Mr. Keshe said on a number of occasions. So this is the way we keep the Keshe Foundation free. We don't know all the tests that are going on in the background, and the instructions are rather brief, and a lot of it is up to you. So we're just developing this full transmutation understanding that we do gain an aspect of immortality through it, and so do the rest if they choose to. As he said, some people may be transferred or decide to transmute onto this craft in the dimension of the soul and take a ride for an experience for 3,000 years or so, and perhaps depart at one of the other ports, or perhaps come back to your starting location. Again, we're just in a test tube in a way, as he said. So join us, and if you feel you don't want your soul studied at this point and you have the ability, buy a ticket for someone else that they can experience, and that we can keep the, again, Keshe Foundation free to develop technologies for humanity and beyond. So this, I think we'll realize in the future that this was much more important than just, let's say, a fundraiser or something to keep the Keshe Foundation going monetarily. It's keeping the technology advancing and developing. And as he said, in the future, they're going to release so much technology, humanity will become drunk with it. There'll just be so many different systems and other things that are available in a way to all of us. And a lot of it will be, not initially, it's a gaming network, but a lot of it is hidden in this gaming network that we're setting up. So thank you all. Anyone else want to talk about transmutation? And of course, Christ showed us the transmutation, and most of the Christians missed it because we've been taught he died on the cross, where Mr. Keshe said figuratively he actually walked off the cross. They did carry him off the cross. They thought all the vital signs were there, that he was gone, but yet the soul reappeared and transmuted into a different shape, continued his life in northern Spain, southern France, and the rest of it. And you can read that little story in one of the holy books where Christ appeared to Mary in the cave, but she didn't recognize him because he'd already changed his appearance, because he was a wanted person. But he told her stories of the past, of how they were perhaps at an event or something else that might have happened on a boat or fishing. And then she realized, or had that epiphany, and said, "You are the Christ." Same soul, but it changed the physicality. So this is the beauty of gaining an aspect of immortality as well, gaining confidence that we can transmute. Again, a bird, a fish, a dog, back to a man. This is all in our capabilities. We just haven't fully understood it. And this is helping the whole process to be brought forward for humanity. So join us. You're invited.
Yes,
Well,
Mark, I will
while
say,
we're on,
yeah.
Go ahead, Sweta.
And I was just saying that when we say energies, level of energies, then every time we cannot say that the physical form is changing now and I can see, but when we say I love you, we cannot see in physicality the love, but we can experience, we can understand, we can receive. So that is the way we have to understand also this merging of universal community, merging with the universal community, that the transmutation starts in the level of energy, in the level of field strength, and then it comes in the physical form. So I will say it's as Jesus has transmuted in himself in a way that no one can understand him, in a way that he understands everything. But people cannot see him in a way because he transmuted him like in a form of energy level. And the physicality, he appears and goes. So this takes time, but when we understand the energies, the loving energies, the peaceful energies, the level of field strength the soul has, then we can understand how to be in this now moment, creating the future, understanding all that is needed and detaching all that is not needed anymore. No value of them. So thank you, Mark, my dear. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
And there was a little question, a rather short question and I'll just read it in the 611th, and it started out, despite following all your teachings since 2018, I'm afraid I won't be able to learn how to perform the transmutation process. I'm afraid I won't be able to be by your side and if and when you need me. I'm afraid I won't be able to keep up with your enlightenment. My question is, how can I know if I'm on the right path? Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe. Mr. Keshe responds, you feel it. It's the emotion. No books, nothing written. Every book written has been tampered by those for the benefit of themselves. When it's written in emotion, nobody can tamper with it because it's you and what's inside you. As simple as that. You know when you reach it. You know when you can do it. And if you stay true to yourself, you can do it. You don't need anything else. There's no book written how for you, I think it is to do.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Beautiful, Mark. Absolutely said by Shriman Mehran. A beautiful soul, beautiful teacher, and all the emotions of love. Yes, we have to understand from within. That is the ability we have. This is so natural and simple. We can understand the energy. We still do it in this physical form. Somebody see us like that. Somebody have an eye us like that. Somebody said to us like that. We receive it and energy mode. So we can do it now also in this universal way. So yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mernas, do you like, she like told about the emotions to Mr. Case or about this week, I think. You remember it, Mernas?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, if you want, yes. Um, I had, I mean, I just prepared something which, like about three-eye atlas, which is called UFO, but Mr. Cash explains how it's a dynamic and alive system in motion. It's like a cruise-like a spaceship, and that every 3,000 years it comes close to us, and every at each time there's events which is written in the books, and so he said about the government who don't say anything at the moment, and so he says about you observe your feeling and your emotion that you feel between 12 October and 17 October until another connection in the end of November and December. So it's a plasmatic dynamic subject, the system, which is a triangle in the middle, and then the triangle, the bigger gives to smaller, smaller takes from bigger, and they create and they create in the middle the energy, the center. And this energy center system is able to create the matter around it. So it comes from the triangle inside, and it goes to create the boundaries outside it. And it is possible that it brings, we hope, the good emotion and energy effects for humanity. Because other things Mark and Mushfiq had talked about. So that was just a part you asked from me. You asked me about the triangle star formation. As I said, it's three dynamic systems we put. They connect to each others, and then they create a energy, and the fourth energy in the middle, which is center, and then they create the outside boundaries by matter, because we know that with energy, a dynamic system, it creates with its energy the material. So we have seen that in China. So that's all about the triangle you asked me.
Okay, thank you, Mehran. Perhaps we can move to the next part now. Is there any other comments on the transmutation or other topics we just covered?
We can move to the next presentation, my dear. Thank you.
Okay. Need and wishes from the new communities. We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal. As wish is our command.
My Derek, before going to the wishes again, I want to ask if any beautiful soul have to share anything or ask anything, as we are all learning, we are all knowledge seekers. Anything to share? Most welcome, dear beautiful souls. And after this sharing, we can proceed to next needs and wishes, the wishes. Thank you, my dear Rick.
Okay, thank you, Shweta. There was a couple things in the YouTube. I'm not able to respond in the YouTube because somehow I'm not able to sign in today. But Tender had a question about, they say, well, I could send a few interesting pictures to Rick, but I don't know how far I'm allowed to contact. Anyway, I have the impression that they can download my pictures somehow anyway. Correct, Rick? If you can send me pictures through Telegram or one of the other social media, Facebook, whatever, however you can get a hold of me, then we can have a look at the pictures as long as they're not copyrighted, and I'll have to run it through the Universal Council first before we present people's pictures and so on. But yes, there is a process for that. And someone called Mastermind says, thank you for your wonderful way of thinking, and thank you for the experience.
Thank you, Mastermind. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tender, my dear. Thank you.
Okay, and let me see here. I think that's about it as far as input from the community that I see right now. I think I might have skipped one here. Oh, I see. They're just in different order. Okay, well, we can go on to the next of our needs and wishes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East now. Our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. Our wish is our command. We are present. Thank you so, so much, my dear Vic. And we are here to serve, not to be served, beautiful souls. And I will say thank you, thank you, thank you so, so much. Gratitude from the deep of my heart to all of you, always being here for all the souls with responsibility to be in peace, elevating all souls in existence. So I welcome you again. Welcome, 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 welcome to Swagatam into the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy and totality of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to the beautiful energy of all lovers, all universal souls. Welcome to the universal energy of all souls in existence, merging with the soul of all that is. Thank you so, so much. And I will say, join, come home, hug, love each other, be in Keshe Foundation for always, forever, now. The Universal Council. Salam, namaste, salim.
I annex little words. Thank you so much, all beautiful souls. During 400 weeks, give our soul many people at the back across the planet Earth, and I think at the universal community too, for continue effort and bring peace and give it all tools to the other people to learn and between the knowledge seekers across the world, across the universal community too, for bringing peace. Thank you, thank you.
Yes, indeed. A big congratulations to the Universal Council for being there for the last 399 and now 400 of these programs since 2017, 8 years ago. And they've been there consistently every week, and not only every week, but every moment of every day to continue broadcasting the love that's present at the core of the Universal Council. And it's been a wonderful journey to see how the Universal Council is melding together and becoming as one voice. And it's a beautiful creation, and we are thankful. Thank you for your presence here over many years. And now we're at perhaps the most important time for the Universal Council in the following hours, weeks, months, and years. Okay, well, that wraps it up for our 400th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. The next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which starts at 7 a.m. Central European Time. Tomorrow, October 15th, that's Wednesday, October 15th. And I invite members of the public who would like to discuss things of the plasma nature. That's a good place to do it. If you have any projects you'd like to present or problems you'd like to work out, that's also a good format. So again, Wednesday starting at 7 a.m. Central European Time. All right, I think that wraps it up for today. If there's no further comments, then we'll end with in our usual manner.
We dance and we invite to dance. Dance and clap. Thank you so much, beautiful souls. We enjoy blessings of Ma. Thank you.
Thank you, Sweta. Very good. And in spite of the fireworks there, I don't think we even heard it in the background because of something magic you've done to your settings, I think. So thank you very much.
Yes, they are not going back. It is magic sometimes. Yes. Thank you, my dear beautiful. So thank you.
And may the music and dance and clapping reach everyone's soul today. And we'll see you in the next public teaching workshop. And bye for now, everyone.